Welcome to Talk of the Town. Elizabeth Greenberg has joined us once again. She's the Director of Exhibitions for the Coastal Discovery Museum. Elizabeth, great to have you on the program.
Thank you.
And we're talking about a phenomenal exhibit that will open in November and stay at the museum until middle March. So tell us about it. It's pretty exciting in the history of
it. Yeah. This one is, this is quite an exhibition pulling together a lot of work from many collections. So it's called It's Thursday, Artists of the Round Table. And this is a retrospective of the group that was active, a group that was very active here in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. So they met every week. Really every week. Not everybody was always there, but at the Red Piano Gallery when the Red Piano was still on the island, and there was an actual round table, and they would sit around the round table and talk about art. And so it was a group that fluctuated over the years. People came, people went. Some people were here for half a year or that kind of thing. But they had a core group. And they would get together, and it was really about, they talk about, there was some art criticism that they would read, and they would talk about the exhibitions they had seen and what kind of work they were doing. So it was really, it wasn't to talk about anything personal, it was really just to talk about art.
And so these artists will be on display, their work will be on display in this exhibition.
Yes.
And the table.
Yes. So the museum got the original table donated, and we've been really lucky because Luann LaRoche, who was the original, she was the owner of the Red Piano Gallery from 1980 to 1995, and she's still around, and she has helped us. We couldn't do the show without her, basically, but she also negotiated the donation of the round table. So, and we'll also, she has the original red piano that was in the gallery. There's an actual red piano, which we will also have at the museum.
And she will be doing a conversation on December the 4th, from 5 to 6:30 at the museum. So that will be exciting.
Yes, so as part of our Legends and Luminaries series of lectures, which has been really fabulous, she's doing the kind of art-related one, and that's going to be great. So,
you want to name some of the artists?
Yes. So this group, this started because there were a couple guys who moved here who were big guys in the advertising and illustration fields in New York and Chicago. So Kobe Whitmore and Joe Bowler were kind of at the core of this, with Joe Demers and Ralph Ballantyne. And so they're kind of they got it going, and then these other people joined. So you have those four. You had Walter Greer, of course, who most people here would know, if they know anything about art on the island. You have George Plant, who was in advertising in that world in London. Alan Palmer actually started the Red Piano Gallery in 1970, and it was his. No, not his. It was another Palmer whose idea it was for the Roundtable Group, and he was in advertising in Atlanta. So these guys did both advertising work and editorial work, like all the illustrations and vintage magazines that you would see for in the women, in Ladies' Home Journal. When there's a story, they would do all the beautiful
Life and Look.
Those old
magazines.
Of those things.
Oh my God!
And so they were incredible illustrators. And then when they came here, and they sort of, some of them kind of kept working. It wasn't exactly like they retired, but they retired from that world, and they became very active in their own art making, painting. Joe Bowler was a wonderful portrait painter, and he produced an immense amount of work, and a lot of people here have portraits of their children hanging in their houses that Joe Bowler did.
Well, kudos to you to bring all of it's an enormous.
It's an enormous. I've talked to all the children and grandchildren and tracking down artwork from random collections, and it has been a pretty heavy lift. And this really came out of, Luann's been talking to me about this group since I started at the museum, but when we had the Aldwyth show, Aldwyth was also in this group, and Aldwyth called it her MFA, sitting around the table with these guys. And so that was kind of one of the driving impetus. And then there are these other fabulous women painters too: Elizabeth Grant, Marge Parker, Katie Hodgman, who worked for the Island Packet but was also a great painter. So
very good. So
it's been
It sounds super exciting.
It is going to be a great show.
Yes.
So.
Well, kudos to you. And it begins on the 12th of November, but there's going to be a reception on the 13th.
So the reception is on November 13th, Thursday, from 5 to 7.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, because it's Thursday. That's right. And I think there will be lots of old Hilton head there for people
Very
who
good.
enjoy that, and family members who are coming into town for it too.
Well,
for
congratulations.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you,
Elizabeth.